Hey everyone, so for our project, myself, Davis, and Christian decided to look into the effect music has on memorization. Specifically, we studied the difference between memorization with only visual stimuli and compared that to both visual and audio stimulation. The idea behind this project came to us because we all agreed that music and song lyrics tend to get stuck in our heads pretty easily. So we wanted to see whether that was just because the words were put to music or what the reason for that was. So there were two variables in our study. The first was categorical and involved people being randomly placed into either the music or non-music group. And the second response variable was quantitative, and that was the word count after their 2 minutes of memorization was up.
Alright guys, so to answer the question, does having music accompanying words aid in memorizing a text, we used our null hypothesis, which was having music does not impact the amount of words someone can memorize, and our alternative hypothesis, having music impacts the amount of words we can memorize. We tested a variety of people. We gave them 2 minutes to memorize as much as possible of a short text, the song Chainbreaker by Zach Williams. It's about 51 words long. Some subjects were given music and lyrics, others were given only lyrics, and we saw how many words they could correctly write down after the time was up. Alright, so looking at the data, you can see there are a few outliers, but most of the data falls in a good range of around 40. The graphs show that there is some variability, but the average is higher for the no music group.
So after collecting this data, we used the two means applet to analyze it. This is from the Rossman-Chance website that we were given in the textbook. Again, we used our null and alternative hypothesis to test this, and we got an observed difference of negative 2.694. The p-value we found is 0.5460, and the confidence interval is negative 11.85 to 6.46. So the analysis of this, based on those results, we found that we do not have strong evidence that music aids in the memorization of a text. This was shown by the large p-value that we found. 0.546 is quite high and shows that there's not strong evidence against the null hypothesis. This led us to the idea that music does not impact the memorization of words. Some confounding variables we identified were that the song itself may be more difficult to memorize than we thought, and also people's musical abilities range as well, and so that could impact our study. One of the biggest ones that we thought of was the testing compared to reality concept. So our test might not present an accurate description of reality, whereas listening to music on the radio differs from sitting down and actually trying to memorize a song purposefully. So some conclusions we can draw from this. The data shows that there is no strong evidence of a relationship between the music and memorizing the words. So this obviously points to music not aiding in the memorization of words, which is different than we expected. We expected to see the common idea that music does help you to memorize the words. So we concluded that memorizing does not help with all texts. We say all texts because we think the common idea could still have some validity to it. We think that music is listened to for enjoyment, obviously, so it's likely easier to memorize. And also music can distract from the memorization as well. So if you're not listening to it on the radio and you're sitting down trying to memorize it, it's a lot different from the reality of listening to music on the radio and enjoying it. Finally, we have some limitations and improvements for our study. The sample size and the variation could definitely have been improved. If we surveyed more people and also increased the variation, so have people of different ages, musical abilities, and get a different demographic as well, that could increase the accuracy of our results and maybe show us some different results there as well. The length of text and the time given could also be changed. Maybe a new song with a longer text could also help to make the song maybe easier to memorize, and the longer text more realistic of how people usually listen to music, and also a longer time to memorize with that longer text to keep the difficulty of memorization the same would be important as well, and probably give more accurate results as it's more realistic with listening to music for longer lengths of time like people normally do. Well, we thank you for taking the time to watch our video and to look at our presentation, and we gladly welcome all feedback, and we'd love to hear from you about how we can improve the study as well. Thanks.